Please take this time to silence all cell phones or communication devices. And now, sit back and relax. It's a lovely evening for murder.
And the Chip and Cleghorn Gazette from Mrs. Swettenham. Good day to you.
Yep, we'll see about that.
Good morning, Mrs. Simmons. Here are the Times, the Telegraph, the Daily Mirror, and the Chip and Cleghorn Gazette. Please give my regards to your sister, Miss Hames, Miss Bunner, and Miss Blacklock.
Yes, I will.
Good day, good vicar. Here are the Chip and Cleghorn Gazette. Please give my regards to your sister. I pray you and Mrs. Harmon are doing well this morning.
Indeed. We're doing splendidly, Johnny. This is the day that the Lord hath made. Thank you for asking, and God be with you today.
And with you, Reverend.
International situation critical. United Nations meets today. Bloodhound seek blonde typist killer.
23 die of food poisoning at Seaside Hotel. Good Lord. How dreadful.
Here's your breakfast, Miss Swetnam. Will you be needing anything else? No, thank you, Christina. Except, have you seen Mr. Edwin yet this morning? No, he must be that communist the last. He stays at up here from the hall table.
You must watch where you're going, Christina. Could have crossed you.
Or are you, Mr. Edwin?
Morning, Mother.
Morning, dear.
Anything riveting in the personals this morning?
Well, as a matter of fact, the Smedleys are selling their 1935 Daimler for the older car.
That's rattletrap.
And here's a girl looking for an interesting post. Would travel. Well, I dare say it would. Can I clear, Mom? No, Christina, we haven't yet finished.
I've only just begun. Can't you see that?
Sorry, sir, my eyes are focused elsewhere. Edmund, I do wish you wouldn't read that horrid daily worker. Christina doesn't like it at all.
Well, I don't see what my political views have to do with her.
And it isn't as though you were a real worker. You don't know at all.
It is not true. I am writing a book.
I mean real work. And Christina does matter. If we don't have her to keep clean around the house, who else do we get?
Advertised in the Gazette.
Nowadays, unless one has an old nanny in the house to do everything, one is simply stuck.
Why haven't we got an old nurse? How remiss of you not to have hired one. What were you thinking?
You had an eye, dear.
No foresight.
Ah, Sheraton sidewalk sale. Mrs. Lucas, size 4. Genuine family antique. What a lie that woman is. Sheraton sidewalk indeed.
Goodbye, dear. You do make too much of fuss, Aunt Letty. Well, Philip has had so much to contend with, and tell me, what's wrong with trying to make life a bit more pleasant?
Nothing, I suppose.
It's a little thing saying goodbye, but it helps. I'd do the same for you.
I'm family.
Why, Julia, it sounds to me as if you're a bit jealous.
Me? No, of course not. She's just a lodger.
Come to that, so are you. I was pleased when Philippa came to stay with me, and just as pleased when you came too. But Philippa's had so much to contend with. Tell me, how would you feel if your husband died at such an early age, leaving you with a child?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't have gotten married so young. I'm not so daft.
Ah, there's the problem. We can't all be nearly as worldly as you are, Julia.
I'm sorry, Aunt Letty.
There's no need.
No, really. I have been spiteful. Come to think of it, I rather like Philippa. We seem to be on the same wavelength. But you do make too much of fuss, of all of us.
I like having young people around me. So when your mother told me you were coming to stay, I was delighted. It meant I could indulge myself.
I can't find it, Letty! I can't find it anywhere!
Oh, what, dear?
It's Friday!
All day, dear?
Yes, Friday the 13th, to be precise. How ominous.
Oh, dear.
What was I saying, Letty?
You can't find It, Bunny dear.
Exactly. I can't find it anywhere. Have you seen it?
Let's start at the beginning.
It's Friday. I always read it Friday morning after breakfast.
Oh, the Gazette, you mean?
Of course. That's what I've been telling you.
Of course, dear.
I can't find the Chipping Cleghorn Gazette anywhere. You don't think they've gone on strike, do you?
No, of course, things like that don't happen here.
Yes, but what a lovely thought to strike here. We might even be in the papers or on the wireless. Chipping Cleghorn reporters refuse to report a vicar's garden party.
No, things like that don't happen here, Julia.
No, nothing ever happens here. It's another world, isn't it?
And just as well, too.
Listen to this. It's marvellous. Absolutely marvellous.
Oh, Patrick, do tell us. We're all dying to know.
My word, we're in a bad mood, aren't we? A bad dream last night.
Yes, as a matter of fact. It was all about you.
Better than being ignored.
What's so marvellous, Patrick?
The personal column in this old rag. Listen to this, Aunt Letty. A young woman said to be excitingly beautiful seeks mature male. Love, marriage, Rolls Royce owners only. Honestly, Bunny, I'm surprised at you. Went to Bentley owner be just as suitable.
You know very well, young man, that Bunny always reads the paper first. I don't have many rules in this house, but that's one of them. She's been looking everywhere for it.
You could have borrowed Mitzi's.
Mitzi's.
She thinks he'll help us speak English.
Oh, dear me, no, I couldn't. I really couldn't. I've only got to walk past the kitchen and she snarls at me. I only want to help, that's all. I couldn't ask her, I just couldn't. She's horrid, that Millie.
Mitzi, dear.
Yes.
Well, you won't have to borrow Mitzi's, will you?
Here you go, Bunny.
Thank you, Patrick.
You won't have to worry about me borrowing it again.
Why aren't you at college? If you'd been at college, none of this would have happened.
I haven't got a lecture till this afternoon.
All that grant you get and you never seem to do anything.
Well, it's not my fault.
Bunny, just read your paper, dear. And, Patrick, you are rather lucky.
I'm perfectly willing to go to more lectures.
He's on a very big holiday.
Thanks for nothing, sister. Anyways, look who's talking. You got the whole day off.
Yes, but I've worked every day this week, overtime.
Pull the other one. I bet you haven't been working overtime at all. More likely been to the pictures.
My goodness, you two. Did you always begin like this at home?
Well, he did. I didn't.
Letty!
Letty!
What's wrong, Bunny dear?
Letty, dear, what does this mean? Oh my goodness, whatever can it mean?
I won't know unless you show me.
Here, at the bottom of the personal column.
Yes?
It's an announcement.
How nice.
No, you don't understand.
No, I know I don't understand.
It says, oh dear, I can't better read it. But you will. Yes.
A murder's announced. No, a murder. Well, I never.
Edmund, listen to this. A
murder
murder
is
is announced and will take place on Friday, October 13th at Little Paddocks at 6:30 p.m. Friends, please accept this, the only intimation. Friday, October 13th. Why, that's today.
Are you sure that's what it says?
Yes, right at the bottom.
Let me see.
This house, Little Paddocks.
Yes.
What do you think it means?
Some sort of party, I suppose. The murder game, that sort of thing.
Well, it seems a very odd way of doing it, just sticking it in your bedclothes like that. Not at all like something Letitia Blacklock would do. She seems to me such a sensible woman.
Probably got up by the bright young thing she has in the house.
Read it again, Bunny.
A murder is announced and will take place on Friday, October the 13th. Oh, that's today. I knew something dreadful was going to happen today.
Really? Because only moments ago you were complaining about how nothing happens here. Finish it, Bunny?
At Little Paddocks at 6:30 p.m. Friends, please accept this, the only intimation.
It's very short notice. Today. Do you think we're just supposed to go?
It says, friends, please accept this, the only intimation.
Oh, Letty!
Let me see it.
It's a joke. It has to be a joke. I mean, who would be daft enough to actually put a real advertisement for a murder in the newspapers?
A madman might.
This has nothing to do with you, has it, Patrick?
I'm not that party.
That's debatable.
No.
I wouldn't put it past you, Julia.
It has nothing to do with me. Perhaps Philippa.
No, it's not the sort of thing she'd get up to.
I quite agree, although clearly someone thinks this is rather amusing.
Well, I think these newfangled ways of giving invitations simply tiresome.
All right, Mother, you needn't go.
Edmund, what happens at a murder game?
I don't know exactly. They pin pieces of paper to your back or something. No. I think they draw names out of a hat, and then one person is the victim, someone else is the detective, and then they turn off the lights, someone taps you on the shoulder, and then you scream and lie down and sham dead.
Oh, it sounds rather exciting.
Probably a beastly bore. I'm not going.
Nonsense, Edmund. I'm going, and you're coming with me. That's settled.
Ew! Ratchet! There's going to be a murder at the Blacklocks.
A murder? When?
This evening. 6:30. Oh, bad luck, darling. We're having dinner with the bishop tonight. It's a shame, since I know how much you do so love a murder. But you could go on, Jane. I know you're always up for a good mystery.
Yes, indeed, but I am not.
Are you certain you're reading that correctly, dear?
See for yourself. It's right there among the second-hand pianos and old teeth.
What a very extraordinary announcement.
I know. You wouldn't think Letitia Blacklock cared for murders and games and things. But still, there it is. And I do think it's a shame that we cannot be there, darling. But Aunt Jane can go and tell us all about it.
There's no reason why you can't go along with Jane. The bishop only wants to talk to me about a church matter. You needn't be there. You would happily escort Bunch to the party, wouldn't you, Aunt Jane?
Yes, of course, if you believe it is all right to show up uninvited.
By the rendering, it appears to be an open invitation to all her friends. And certainly you and Bunch would be listed among them.
Very well. I'll go. Though, rather wasted on me. Because I don't really like things that happen in the dark. They frighten me. And I hope I shan't be the one that's to be murdered. For somebody to come and tap me on the shoulder and whisper, "You're dead." My heart might give such a big bump that it might actually kill me. Do you think that's likely?
No, Bunch, dear. I think you're going to live to be an old woman with me. But just to be sure, will you represent the Harmon household at the party, Aunt Jane? Now that I think on it, I should not want to meet with the bishop for whatever reason without my dear Bunch. But we are both very curious to know what this is all about.
Yes, of course, Julian. I shall be most happy to go and surely bring back a report that shall satisfy your curiosity.
Thank you.
This whole thing frightens me. Oh, nothing's going to happen, Bunny.
But what will happen at 6:30?
He's just dead.
Patrick, it's Mitzi's cake. We always call Mitzi's cake delicious, Dad.
Yes, she says, friends, please accept this the only intimation. Somebody's bound to drop round. I figured we get Mitzi to make us one.
I'm sure you did. Nothing's going to happen at 6:30, Bunny. However, Patrick's probably right that at least a few people will drop by out of curiosity. Oh, it might just turn into a party. It most certainly will not.
See, Bunny, nothing to worry about.
You really think so?
Of course.
Oh, good.
That makes me feel so much better.
I'm sure we're all just going to laugh about it tomorrow, Bunny.
Yes. Someone is after me! I'm going to be murdered in my bed! Just hear the cassette, they're coming for me!
Whoever put that silly advert in the paper clearly did it with the precise intention of sending this house into total chaos.
There will be blood everywhere! They will cut me up and feed me to the dogs!
Poor dogs.
What will happen in this very house if I stay tonight? You see, they care nothing for the law. They tell everyone they are coming to murder me!
It is nothing but a joke, Mitzi.
I must laugh! I go!
And nevertheless, I doubt it has anything to do with you.
You do not understand. Once you have escaped, they never let you get away. But I thought you did get away. They hound me day and night and day. The telephone calls. You wonder what they are, who they are from.
What phone calls, Mitzi?
Agents from my country. They do not like that I have escaped from them. Why they keep phoning me?
Well, I expect they want to know how you're getting on over here, Millie.
I've never heard you get any telephone calls. Mitzi?
They do it in secret. They don't like that I have escaped from them. I have no idea what it is like. The interrogation for days, weeks, months. The light shining in my eyes. And my family. They have sent them to Siberia.
Now, Mitzi, do be sensible about this. No one's going to come after you. No spy, no agent. Now, why don't you calm yourself down and we'll all take care of you. Now, I have an idea. Why don't you go to the kitchen and make some of that famous goulash of yours for lunch?
Oh, you like my goulash, eh?
Oh, yes, it is delicious.
I will add a rich red wine this time from my country. It makes my mouth water just to think about it.
Oh, good, very good. Incidentally, would you let the guests in around 6:30 tonight?
To murder me?
No. Just for maybe a drink.
So it will be alright?
It will be all right. And why don't you make some sandwiches? You make such good sandwiches.
I am a good cook, no? I will make a dip too.
Oh, yes, just maybe a little less garlic this time.
You don't like garlic?
Oh, well, I do, just in moderation. Last time you made a dip, we were nearly ostracized at church, and that was 2 days after we'd eaten it.
Okay, I will tell you this then. I will use 2 cloves of garlic instead of my usual setting. But it will not be nearly as good. Now, I go. Too long you have kept me gaspacking.
Well done, Aunt Letty.
Beautifully handled, beautifully handled. Oh, it's nice to see you two in agreement on something for once.
Letty was always very good with people. She could have gone a long way indeed. Yes, a long way. If only.
Bunny, let's not keep these two reminiscing. The young don't like to hear about the past these days.
Oh, dear me, I am so sorry. I get so muddled sometimes. I'm sorry, Letty, really and truly sorry.
No, it's all right, Bunny. I wasn't angry.
No, but you're so right. Everything's mixed up. I must be more careful and think before I say something.
Why don't you just read your paper? You know how you enjoy your paper.
Well, anyways, for a moment there I thought Mitzi was actually going to take off and I was going to have to do all the cooking. You needn't say anything, thank you very much.
I was just thinking what a terrible liar Mitzi is.
Yes, we all know that she doesn't get any phone calls.
What about her parents being sent to Siberia? Last time they were executed in the Red Square.
She stood there in the snow with the tears freezing on her cheeks. Oh, please.
Now, you two, we must be sympathetic towards her. She's lonely. She has no one from her past, no one to talk to. That's why she makes up such stories.
Lies, you mean?
Yes, I do. But I understand why she does it.
But why are her stories always such doom, gloom, and disaster?
It's because it's what she likes. That's why some people read murder mysteries.
The front door was open. I do hope I'm not intruding.
Oh, not at all, Miss Marple.
Only I popped in to deliver these to Miss Bunner.
Oh, how lovely!
You remember who admired them so at the vicarage the other day? Well, I told my nephew all about it and he insisted that I bring you some.
Oh, how kind, how very kind. Look, Letty, aren't they lovely? And so unusual in the autumn.
Oh, yes. My grandmother used to be able to grow them right up to the winter months. I do adore violets.
Yes, there's something so sentimental about them. Don't you think so, Julia?
Oh, yes. I think you are a very romantic person, Miss Marple.
Oh, do you?
I see what you mean.
I don't think Hattie does.
Oh, trust me, there's no romance in his soul.
Yes, well, you're only his sister. If there was any there, you probably wouldn't see it.
Oh, where shall they go, Letty? I want everyone to enjoy them.
How about the console? There's already a vase there waiting for them.
Oh, and it looks like it's already got water in it. Must be stale. I'll get some fresh, won't be a minute.
Do sit down, Miss Marple. I am delighted you called. I wanted to invite you to Bunny's birthday party. She'd be delighted to have you there.
Oh, thank you. I do love parties. And perhaps there's something I could do to help.
I'll be helping Aunt Letty.
I'll be helping Aunt Letty.
Yes, well, we all know where you'll be. Sitting in your armchair, probably eating, so you won't be any help.
The announcement in the Gazette, what does it mean?
Oh, you saw that, did you?
Well, I imagine everyone shipping Cleghorn has seen it by now. Has it to do with Miss Bonner's birthday?
You know, we really have no idea what it means.
Probably just some crank who thinks he's being funny.
I see. Well, I thought it might be some sort of invitation to play some sort of new game or something.
A murder game? It does sound quite good, doesn't it?
Well, if you're interested, Miss Marple, why don't you drop by around 6:30?
Oh, yes, please do.
Oh, I'd love to, but I have to go to Mendham Wells this afternoon for my treatment, and I'm not sure how long that's going to take, but I'll do my best.
Is your rheumatism better?
It is. The spa waters here are so good. Give it another week and I shall be back in St. Mary Mead.
Chipping Cleghorn won't be the same without you.
Oh, I shall miss it here, although I have a feeling my niece and nephew will be oversorry when I leave. Oh, they've been very patient with me.
Oh, would they like to come tonight, too?
Oh, I'm sure they'd love to. My nephew is very much like me. He loves a good mystery, but they're having dinner with the bishop.
Well, it would be rather reassuring to have the vicar here.
Oh, well, knowing your neighbours, you won't be alone. The Colonel and Mrs. Easterbrook for a start.
No, they're in Bournemouth.
Well, Clara Swinton would miss an opportunity like this, and her boy Edmund with 2 beautiful young girls staying here.
Well, there's someone that I could do without. Besides, Philippa says he's just a layabout.
I thought he was a writer.
Oh, he is. She says it's just an excuse for him not to get a real job and work for real money.
Oh, well, perhaps she's got a point. Do thank the vicar for me, Miss Marple.
I'm touched, I really am. So kind of him.
Yes, he was delighted that you noticed them. He brought them all the way back from Devon, the Dark Valley. He was born there.
Devon violets. There's nothing quite like them.
Yes. Well, I must be going. I do hope all will be well this evening.
What?
The announcement in the Gazette. A murder will take place here at 6:30. If it wasn't a joke or something like that, I'd be very worried.
We're made of sterner stuff than you think, Miss Marple.
Oh, but surely, Miss Blacklock, if there's going to be a murder, then there's going to have to be a victim. Now, the question I'd be asking myself is, who is going to be murdered?
Everything around here. Oh, Miss Blackwell, you like what they do, yes?
Oh, yes, it is beautiful, Mitzi. Thank you.
The dip, well, it is not quite perfect, but in the sandwiches I have put the pâté.
Oh, the pâté. Not my pâté de foie gras.
Yes, it is delicious.
It was a gift. It came from Fortnum's. I was hoping to save it for a special occasion.
You told me to make sandwiches, I do it!
I was rather thinking of cheese.
Your English cheese tastes like soap. We like it. You don't need me anymore?
No, Mitzi, thank you. Will you be going out tonight?
I have some things to do in the dining room, then I will lock myself up in my room.
Before you go into hiding, would you mind letting the guests in around 6:30? I've decided to keep the door locked tonight.
I do everything here. I'm head cook and bucket washer.
Bottle water?
That too.
Not long now. Are you worried?
Why should I be?
Oh, I don't know. Just supposing someone actually does come in tonight and kill someone.
You're the last person I thought would be taking this seriously, Julia.
I do have butterflies in my stomach.
Well, then why don't you just relax and have a drink?
Oh, very good idea. What worries me most, though, is Miss Marple's comment.
Oh, disregard her. She relishes this sort of thing. She's nothing but an old busybody.
Quite a clever old busybody. And if you're right, then someone is going to be killed here tonight.
This is nothing but a joke, or someone's attempt to get even with me for a hospitality I owe them or some such thing.
But if it isn't that,
Julia?
then someone is going to be murdered.
I have heard enough of this nonsense. Do you understand me?
But it could be you. Oh, or even worse, it could be me.
Oh, thank you very much.
I mean, there's Patrick. Oh, but the days that I could have already killed them. And then there's Bunny.
Oh, Paris, for thought.
Yes, but I've seen you driven to distraction by her before now.
Well, she can be irritating, but oh, she's my oldest friend from childhood. What a terrible thought.
Yes, well, on a lighter note, it could be Mitzi. She gets on my nerves.
That's not a good enough reason to murder her.
Well, maybe. But then there's Philippa. Who is she? Where does she come from?
You know very well who Philippa is and where she comes from.
Yes, but we only have her word for it.
That's all I have from you and Patrick.
I see what you mean. But Mother wrote to you and told us we'd be coming.
How do I know it wasn't a forgery?
Yeah. But it wasn't.
Oh, I'm sure of it. The same way I'm sure about Philippa.
It's going to take place around 6:30. I suppose this room will be the scene of the crime.
This is a crazy story, Letty. It just doesn't make sense. If someone intends to commit a murder, why on earth announce in the newspaper for everyone to see? I would have thought it had been wise to keep quiet about it.
I think you're quite right, Philippa. It must have been a madman.
What about a mad woman?
It's a wonder the police haven't been around here.
Oh, I'd be surprised if they were taking this seriously at all.
Do you?
Of course not. It's too ridiculous for words.
You don't sound too sure of yourself.
Oh, well, I am. It's probably just someone calling round for a drink or something. Let's just forget about it, shall we?
Poor Aunt Letty. It's rather getting on top of you, isn't it?
No, it's not. You just keep going on about it. It's stupid and childish, and I've heard enough. Do you understand?
Quack! 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 Quack!
Oh, Bunny dear, what's wrong?
Infernal noise they make, Letty. They're all out on the back lawn.
Oh, the ducks! I should have put them up ages ago. Were you outside like that?
Like what?
Without a coat.
Only to the bottom of the garden to throw some rubbish away.
Dr. Robinson would be very irritated with you, and I'm not entirely sure I shan't tell him.
Oh, no, please don't!
You shall be the death of me. I'd better go put up the ducks.
Oh, I'll do it.
Oh, no, Philippa, you've been at work all day. Why don't you just relax?
I'll go.
Oh, thank you, Patrick, but I feel much better doing it myself.
If I'd had my galoshes, then I would have done it for her.
Julia, I noticed you stay discreetly in the background, afraid of getting our hands dirty.
No, actually. My new dress. Now that must have cost a bomb. Friend gave it to me. Oh, like that, is it?
Ask no questions.
Death wore black chiffon.
What are you implying?
I'm just saying if you're the murderer, then death wore black chiffon would be quite appropriate, wouldn't it?
If you're trying to be funny.
I once read a book called that.
Are you sure, Bunny?
No, wait, what was it? Oh! Death wore black pajamas. Nice book, though there were some parts I didn't quite understand.
Patrick, there is something you can do for me.
Anything.
This bottle of sherry. Would you put it away and get me a new one? It's nearly empty.
It's half full.
It's been open for a while.
But...
Here are Miss Swettenham and there's son Edmund Swettenham. Thank you, you're welcome. Why are you laughing at me?
No, it's not you, it's something else, I promise.
You stay out of my kitchen, Mitzi! Right this way!
Oh, Clara, Edmund, how nice of you to call.
Oh, yes, we were just, passing, Letty.
Really?
Yes, that's right. Isn't it, Edmund?
Yes, Mother, that's right.
Yes, you see, we were in the car, and I said to Edmund, who drives much too fast, you know. Oh, look, Edmund, there's little Paris. Letty would never forgive us if we didn't drop in and say hello. And then Edmund said, what was it you said, dear?
What a good idea.
Yes, that's it. And so, here we are.
Oh, well, how kind of you. Isn't it funny?
What is, Letty?
Clara and Edmund were just in the neighborhood and they thought they'd check up on us.
But you said this morning that they were bound to drop in. Bursting with curiosity, you said, after reading the announcement in the Gazette. You did see it, didn't you, Clara? Oh, well, was it the one right at the bottom of the personal column? Oh, I may have, noticed it. Julia said you'd be here too. Wild horses wouldn't keep you away.
Well, now that you are here...
Totally unexpected.
Patrick! Why don't we all have a drink?
Yes. Sherry, Miss Swettenham.
Oh, yes, that's fine.
Edmund?
Thank you. Well, Philippa, you look awfully busy this afternoon.
Yes, things got even more hectic after you left.
Have you two been having secret meetings? Hatching something, I see?
There was nothing secret about it. We're not hatching anything. Well, that's your story.
No, by no means. I was just calling the Dyer's Hole for some honey for Miss Lucas.
Oh, okay. Very funny. Julia? Yes, darling? I should be careful. Otherwise, a few things might come up that the rest of us might find most peculiar.
Drinks, everyone! Edmund, would you?
Of course.
For you. I laced yours with a dash of cyanide. Cheers!
Well,
well, you only die once. Cheers!
Betty, when is the murder going to take place?
Oh, 6:30. I knew the murderer! Me? Well, of course not.
Well, you seem to know all about it.
Well, it wasn't the Gazette, wasn't it? I'm sure all of Chipping Cleghorn knows about it by now.
Yes, indeed.
Well, it's nearly 6:30. We're going to happen any minute now. Cigarettes, anyone?
No, thank you.
Yes, please, Letty. Thank you, Edmund.
That was the last one.
Somebody turn the lights on!
They must be fused. Where's the fuse box? It's in the hall. I'll go.
Isn't very funny.
Bloody Nora!
What was that?
Nothing. I'll have the lights off in a moment.
Letty! It's all right, buddy. Stay calm. I'm frightened. There's no need.
He's unconscious. Who is he? Knocked himself out. You know who he is?
I have no idea. Better get this gun before he comes around.
Will someone please help me? Letty! Is she all right? Someone get her a brandy. We need to call the doctor. Right, Letty. I'm fine. It's nothing. It's just my ear.
Why the handkerchief?
I don't think police would be too happy if I've got my fingerprints all over it.
The police?
They'll have to be called in, Mother.
No! Sam Betsy!
Yes, someone must have locked her in the kitchen.
I'll go let her out.
No, I'll do it in a moment.
Letty, are you feeling better, Letty? Yes, thank you. What happened? Someone tried to shoot Letty.
This man?
Yes, of course. Is he coming round?
No.
Who he is?
I know who he is. His name is Rudy Schutz. And he's dead.
So, he fires 2 shots from here, hits the wall, and then it shoots himself.
He could have done it accidentally, sir. He could have tripped.
Are they all here now?
Yes, sir. Grumbling and moaning. And I should watch out for the Indian Swetman.
Why?
You seem to be a bit of a left-wing intellectual.
I didn't get that impression from him last night.
He's been at bullshit with me, sir. He had to go with the force this morning. He was sprouting on about our Gestapo methods.
Oh, blast! Why do I always pick the awkward ones?
You do seem to attract them, sir.
Why couldn't I just get a nice, peaceful, law-abiding lot for once who follow my orders and do as they're told with a certain amount of civility?
Not your style, sir.
Once, just once, that's all I ask. You know, Sergeant, someone up there doesn't like me. What's more, that lot out there trying to compound the felony.
Shall I wheel them in?
Nothing else for it, is there?
Afraid not, sir.
No, not that door. It's been locked for years.
You know what this is? It's classic. Laissez-faire economy. Do you know what the result of it is, people? Bolting in people's houses and shooting them.
I assume it must be a complete involvement.
May I have your attention, please? Quiet, please! Please! That's very good of you. I do appreciate your cooperation.
Inspector, this is very inconvenient. It is Saturday, there's shopping and things to be done.
I understand your problem, Mrs. Swetnam, but if you remember, a man died here last night, right where you're standing. And, though it might not seem very important to yourself, it is to me and the rest of society in general. So, if you wouldn't mind casting your grocery list to the back of your mind and submitting to a few questions.
I would have thought there were enough questions asked last night.
Well, perhaps you and I don't quite think the same. Yes, I think that's it. I think we think quite differently. But if you'll cast your mind back, way back to last night, perhaps you'll remember that I let you all go home free with the understanding that I have your full cooperation when you returned this morning.
Well, it's perfectly clear what happened. This man, Shirts was his name, I believe.
Yes.
Broke in here, intending to steal from Miss Blacklock, the rest of us. Fired shots to scare us, tripped in the dark, and then killed himself. Poor devil.
I understand you're a bit of a writer.
Well, actually, I do write.
Well, I hope all your plots aren't as obvious as that. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be very interested in reading any of them. Now, if we could get back to the case at hand.
I'm sure we'd all be perfectly willing to answer your questions, Inspector, but you must understand this has come as rather a shock to all of us.
I appreciate that, Miss Blacklock, but for one thing, Rudy Shirts didn't break in. No locks broken, no windows forced.
He must have come in by the back door. I did.
And, as I was saying before Miss Marple interrupted me, there's your awful habit of leaving the doors unlocked for all and sundry to come and go as they please.
Well, I locked the front door.
For once!
And everyone in the village does it. Well, leave the back door open, that is.
Foolish, very foolish.
I must have left it open when I went to put up the ducks.
Miss Blacklock, you said last night that you knew Rudy Shirts.
Oh, hardly knew, Inspector. His father owned a hotel in Montreux. I spent a couple evenings there when I was nursing my sister back to health in Switzerland. The other day I was having lunch at the Royal Spa at Medmenham Wells. Rudy Shirts approached me, told me he recognized me and that he had come here to get a firm grounding in the hotel business. But I must point out that it was he who recognized me and not the other way around. And then a few days later when he called here.
He's been here before.
Oh, yes.
I remember, Letty. You were very upset. He tried to ask you for some money.
Oh, that's right. He came by with some preposterous story about how his father had fallen gravely ill and he needed money for airfare. Of course, I must assume that he was lying. His father owns a hotel. He must have had the money for the fare. So I told him right out that I had no intention of lending him the money. But the strange part was that he didn't even put up a fuss. He just went away, like a lamb.
I see. Do you think he may have been here purely to look around, see the layout of the house, that sort of thing?
Well, I never really thought of it that way before, but I suppose that must have been what he was doing. Not that it would have helped him much. I only keep a few pounds lying around.
Have you any valuables?
Nothing.
Jewelry, silver?
Only bits and pieces, and the silver's only reasonable. Mitzi was polishing it in the dining room last night.
I'm not touched it! It has nothing to do with stupid police officers coming in here blaming me for everything!
Is she always like this?
Torture me will get you nowhere! I am innocent! Innocent! I was locked in that dining room! That is my 100% alibi, as you would say!
And a very good alibi it is. Perhaps too good. Now sit down and try to remember I'm not too keen on the histrionics. I will sit. Now, I want you all to remember that I don't want to be here any more than you do. There's a football match on at Milchester that I'd very much like to see this afternoon. So, if we could get on with these interrogations with as little interruptions as possible, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, Miss Blacklock, I believe we have established that you knew Rudy Schultz.
Excuse me, Inspector. I hate to interrupt, but I knew Rudy Schultz as well.
You mentioned this last night?
I did, but you hadn't arrived yet, and, well, when you did, I'm afraid you rather neglected me.
Did I? Oh.
It might have to do with the fact that I arrived after all the, action took place.
Bit like turning to the last page of a book to find out who the killer is, isn't it?
As an analogy, that doesn't work, because that's cheating. I usually figure out who it is that's having to resort to such tactics. Do you turn to the last page, Inspector?
If only I could, Miss Marple. Now you said you knew Rudy Schultz.
Yes, whilst I was staying at the Royal Spa Hotel, I was under intensive treatment for rheumatism. He made up my bill.
Ah.
There were one or two discrepancies, which I couldn't fail to notice, of course.
Of course.
He was clearly on the make, as they say in the trade. And naturally, when I pointed out these errors, he apologized profusely, but we both knew.
Did you report him?
Well, there was nothing I could actually prove.
He does seem to have been quite a villain. I'll know more soon. I'm having the Swiss police perform a check on him. But in the meantime, I'd like you all to return to the exact positions you were in when the shots were fired last night.
Would you like me to leave then? I was on the drive.
You were outside when you heard the shots fired.
Yes, as you'll realize, I came in through the back door. I heard Mitzi banging about in the dining room, so I let her out when we both came in here.
So what I'd like you to do, keep an eye on Mitzi. I don't want her banging about again.
Why, I'm not bringing up!
Ah! Shush, shush, shush! And shush again! Now, if we could get back to what we were doing. Oh. So, last night, the clock struck the half hour, the lights went out, the flashlight came on, and it landed on you, Mrs. Swetnam.
Well, yes. I was totally dazzled. I couldn't see anything. I just heard that voice. Frightening. It was guttural.
You're newly returned to this country, aren't you?
Well, yes. My husband was in the diplomatic service. He died abroad, and naturally Edmund and I returned home.
Where were you? Abroad, that is.
Why? Turin. He was in the trade delegation there. I don't see what my personal life has anything to do with this.
Well, it's just if my knowledge of geography hasn't entirely forsaken me, Turin isn't that far from the Swiss border, is it?
Well, no.
Thank you, Mrs. Swetnam.
Just what are you insinuating?
The light shined on you next, didn't it, Mr. Swetnam?
No, it shined on Julia.
Thank you, Mr. Swetnam.
Aren't you going to ask me any more questions?
No, not for the time being. Now, the light never shined on you, did it, Mrs. Hames?
No, it didn't.
You were facing the door?
That's right.
What did you see of this man?
Not really. I couldn't see anything.
But you were in a perfect position.
It was very dark. I suppose I can make out a shape, but nothing more.
How long ago did your husband die?
Why? What on earth does this have to do with this?
I'm trying to establish how and why you came to Chipping Cleghorn.
I still don't see what the relevance is.
Does it strike you as odd, Mrs. Hames, that all of you are virtual newcomers to Chipping Cleghorn?
Well, it's never occurred to me.
Odd, though.
I came here a few months ago when I was offered a job restoring the gardens at Dyer's Hall. I'm a trained horticulturist.
That's nice. Gardener. Now, the light shined on you next, Miss Simmons.
Yes, well, my hands went up because, you see, I thought it was a joke. But then he barked at me, so I had to put my hands up.
Well, he couldn't laugh at that, could he?
I
You're
thought I was going to be shot at.
You're Miss Blacklock's niece?
Oh, well, yeah.
That's the kind of answer I like. Full of confidence. You are Miss Blacklock's niece, correct?
I just don't see what my relationship with Aunt Letty has to do with any of this.
Why don't you leave me to sort out the details? Besides, I was merely trying to establish who you are.
You can check up on it if you'd like.
You can be sure I will. Your mother lives in the south of France, I believe?
Yes. She's lived there for some time. It's very good for her health.
Thank you, Miss Simmons. Now, Miss Bunner.
You're not going to give me the 3rd degree, are you, Inspector?
Not today, Miss Bunner, not today. But if you can tell me what you saw, if anything, it would be greatly appreciated. You were in a perfect position to see both the shooter and Miss Blacklock had the lights been off.
Why, yes, I was.
Here's what I'd like you to do. Tell me everything that you saw before the lights went out.
Before?
Yes, and then we'll compare it to what you saw after the lights went out.
Okay. Letty was holding the vase.
Actually, Bunny, I was holding the cigarette case. Remember, I was passing them round.
Oh. Letty was holding the cigarette case, not the vase.
Then what happened, Miss Bunner?
The flash.
From the torch?
No.
Oh?
Must have been the light on the cigarette box. We always keep it polished.
Ah.
And then it was dark, and then he fired his gun at poor Letty.
But you saw the shooter fire the gun.
I saw the gun fired Letty.
Oh, thank you, Miss Bunner.
He should be locked up.
Oh, Bunny, he's dead.
Well, serves him right. He tried to murder Letty.
You were by the door, having a few drinks.
I only had one.
Whatever you say. But you were by the door.
Well, I was at first, and they told me to move away from it.
Now that's when you think he fell?
Yes, I suppose so.
And then you went out to mend the fuse box.
Well, I didn't mean it per se. See, I just switched them around. It's
You're
my
Miss Simmons' brother?
Yes, a year older.
Miss Blacklock's nephew?
No.
I was made to believe that.
Well, his mother is my first cousin, and he's a son. So...
Yes, our mother used to call her Aunt Letty, so when we came to live with her, well...
How long have you been living with Miss Blacklock?
I suppose about 3 months now.
So, the three of you have only really known each other since about June or July this year?
Well, I knew them as children.
I see. Miss Blacklock, would you mind returning to the wall? A very narrow escape.
I was very fortunate.
Well, that wasn't too bad, was it?
Oh, can we go now?
Yes, you all may leave, but please do stay in the village. Don't take any unexpected vacations, holidays, things like that.
Excuse me, Inspector, but you haven't questioned me yet.
Well, you said you didn't arrive until after the action had occurred.
But suppose I was lying. I could have been Rudy Schutz's accomplice. I could have easily locked Mitzi in the dining room, and, well, I know the layout of the house, so I could have hidden for a while, and I could have just pretended to show up after it was all over.
Well, in that case, I'll have to put you under arrest.
I'm not his accomplice.
Well, in that case, you are free to go.
How very disappointing. You're having a game with me, aren't you, Inspector?
And you with me, Miss Marple. I'll question you when I'm ready.
Very well.
Now, you all may go, but I'll be in contact with you all again soon. Miss Blacklock?
Oh.
I'd like you to stay. Miss Blacklock?
Yes?
I think it's cards on the table time.
I don't know what
Yes,
you mean, Inspector.
you do know what I mean. Someone tried to kill you last night.
Oh, no, Inspector, no.
No, I'm quite sure of it.
Oh, but why? Rudy Schutz had plenty of opportunities to kill me before. Why last night? Why invite witnesses?
What makes you so sure it was Rudy Schutz?
Well, wasn't it?
He did place the advertisement in the Gazette.
Oh, well, there you go. That sort of proves my point. Why not wait behind a bush and pop me off when no one was around? No, I think you're wrong, Inspector. Rudy Schutz did not come here to kill me last night.
Suppose someone put him up to it. Someone who wanted you dead, and is prepared to pay Rudy Schutz to do it. You see, I'm not so sure his death was an accident.
Oh, but it must have been. He tripped on himself and shot himself in the head.
No, supposing he was put him up to it, and that person thought that you had been killed. Wouldn't it be safer to kill Rudy Schutz, and not risk his getting caught by the police and telling us the whole truth?
Oh, but I still don't understand why. I'm on good terms with everyone in the village, and I've no grudges that I know of. It's just too ridiculous.
You'd be surprised what people will do for money. Miss Blacklock, who gets your money if you die?
I don't see what this has to do with anything.
Please, indulge me. Answer my question.
Patrick and Julia.
Oh.
And Bunny gets a small part of the furniture and an annuity when I die as well, so we might as put her on the suspect list as well. Frankly, Inspector, I'm not worth killing.
But nevertheless, all three of them benefit from your death.
And not one of them would touch a hair on my head.
Do you have any valuables?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Those pearls you're wearing.
They are priceless. But only to me. They were my sister's. She wore them all the time, now I do.
I still think someone is trying to kill you, Miss Blacklock. Yeah, I'm sorry to put you through this, but would you mind returning to the wall one last time? If Rudy Shirts had merely been trying to scare you, you could have easily fired the shots into the ceiling. But think, the clock struck the half hour, the lights went out, the door swung open, and...
Miss Marple!
Give me that gun!
It's a toy! It fires pieces of potato!
What is this all about?
I couldn't help but wonder how that young man could be in 3 places at once, fusing the lights, locking Mitzi in the dining room, and opening the door with the gun in one hand and a torch in the other. I just couldn't. I had to put the gun down, open the door, and pick it up afterwards. It seems to me he was a very athletic young man.
Good point, Miss Marple.
Inspector, that's praise indeed. Tell me, do you think Rudy Shirts had an accomplice?
Miss Marple,
Yes,
would you like my job?
I would, but I'd never make a policeman.
You think not?
I'm not tall enough. I started off at Little Sherrod in the hopes that I could prove my theory that Rudy Shirts came here to murder Miss Blacklock.
I've been trying to convince her of that myself. Perhaps now you'll believe it's not the rantings of a hysterical old copper.
Just because both you and Miss Marple believe it does not necessarily mean it is true.
I'm trying to save your life.
I believe that too, Miss Blacklock.
Somewhere there's a reason. Maybe deep in your mind, we've got to bring it out.
I'm sure there's no reason.
Please, think.
Well, I understand from Miss Spunner that you could inherit millions.
Well, she's referring to Randall Girdler's will.
Randall Girdler?
He was a financier, Inspector. Very flamboyant, hailed as a genius in the city.
I was his secretary for nearly 20 years. He made millions.
But without you, it might not have ever have happened.
Is this all the truth?
Well, in Randall's early days, I lent him some money. Nearly everything I had, in fact. He was up against it, about to lose everything. He did it. In short, I became a junior partner, and when he died, he left a fortune.
To whom?
Well, to his wife as long as she's alive, and, well, when she dies, I get it.
And you believe this has nothing to do with the shooting?
Well, Rudy Shirts barely knew me, let alone Randall Girdler, and he didn't make his will public.
It can easily be looked up in Somerset House. Tell me, Miss Blacklock, how does Mrs. Girdler feel towards you?
Well, we never really talked much, but when we did, we got on as the best of friends.
I understand from Miss Bonner that her health hasn't been too good lately.
No, Belle never really was all that strong, but Randall said she would outlive each and every one of us, and I wouldn't be surprised if she did at this point. You know, Inspector, I've had an excellent reason to kill Belle Girdler for the last several years.
So, if she dies, you get everything.
Well, almost everything.
What happens if you die before Belle Girdler?
Pip and Emma get it.
Who?
I suppose it does sound a bit funny. You see, Randall had a sister named Sonia, and she married a man named Dimitri Stamfordis. He was from Western Europe or some such place. He was a rogue, very handsome, mind you. Well, Randall hated him.
So, he cut Sonia out of the will entirely?
Quite right, Inspector. But it was okay because Sonia was rich in her own right. But Randall and Belle's lawyers convinced them to put someone in their will in case I died before they did. Very wise. The last communication we received from Sonia was a letter to Belle saying she was deliriously happy and had just given birth to twins.
Pip and Emma.
Precisely.
So, somewhere, there are a young man and a young woman who stand to become millionaires. If you die before Belle Girdler. Does anyone know where Sonia and Dimitri are today?
Last we heard they were in Western Europe.
And how old would Pip and Emma be now?
25 or 26.
What did Sonia look like? They might resemble her.
Oh, Sonia, she was a dark woman. Very attractive and passionate.
Pip and Emma.
Or Sonia, Inspector. Supposing her husband, Dimitri Stamfordis, was it?
Oh, yes.
Supposing he went through her money, she'd certainly stand to gain if she died first.
Dimitri would too. So there are 4 people who stand to gain from your death.
But you can go ahead and take Patrick and Julia off the table right now. If I died now, they'd only get a pittance.
At this stage, I don't believe in discounting anyone. And neither should you.
I brought coffee. Mitzi, What? I never realized how much you look. Oh, it's nothing. Nothing.
Just a minute, Mitzi.
What do you want, policeman?
Have you any relations in this country?
Why you want to know?
Your brother, distant cousin, something?
My family is dead. Massacred.
Oh, I understood from Miss Bunner that they were sent to Siberia.
Why would you say that?
You have no one in this country.
No, I am alone.
No English relatives of any sort.
Me, English? If it was not so funny, I would be insulted.
Of course, I'll have to see your papers at some time.
Everything is in order. I report to immigration authorities every 3 months.
Calm down. This is all routine. I'm obliged to do it.
Well, you accuse me of this thing, this murder. Well, then arrest me. Put on the handcuffs.
Good, you're arresting her, are you, Inspector?
I will not get arrest me.
Put down your hands. I'm not in the mood.
You should arrest her. She stole a cup.
Not steal anything, you stupid old woman.
Now, Mitzi, you are being very rude to Miss Bunner. Apologize.
I will not. She accuses me of stealing.
Now, Bunny, tell me what happened.
One of your favorite coffee cups, Letty. It's missing. They were on the Welsh dresser in the kitchen, and she won't let anyone go in there. There were 6, now there are only 5.
Now, Mitzi, tell me, and I won't be angry. Did you break a cup?
First murder, and now stealing. And why? Because I am a foreigner, and that is the truth. She did it. She's the screwy one. She put it somewhere and forgotten about it. She should be put away.
Mitzi, apologize.
I will not. You can find someone else. I will not block on your doorstep again.
She can't leave.
Oh, she won't. She just gets like this. She's a rather explosive person.
And a liar. You should check up on her, Inspector. I dare say we'd all be surprised if we knew the truth about her.
Well, she makes excellent coffee.
Only thing she doesn't put garlic in.
Miss Marple, coffee?
Oh, yes, please.
Inspector?
None for me right now. Although, I would like to take another look around the house.
Oh, all right. Bunny, will you pour while I show the inspector round?
Oh, of course. You like it black, don't you?
Oh, no, I like it white.
Oh, right. I don't know how you drink it black. I like mine with lots of milk and sugar. Letty was always teasing me about when we were children, I remember.
And not many friendships last as long as yours.
She rescued me, you know.
From what?
I was destitute.
Surely not.
Don't you believe me?
Well, yes, of course.
She's so good. Not only to me, but everyone.
Yes, she does seem to take a lot of people on her wing.
Too trusting by far.
Really? She doesn't seem like the sort who'd be easily fooled.
She's not a woman of the world, you know. Not like us.
She did work for Randall Girdler all those years.
Oh, yes, she did. Who told you that?
You did, the other day.
It's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Poor Lottie. Poor Lottie. When I think of her, that poem comes to mind.
Oh, which poem, Miss Bunner?
Why, the one that goes, and sad affliction bravely borne.
Oh, what sad affliction?
What?
Sad affliction.
All those years looking after her sister, only she would have done it.
Oh, tuberculosis, wasn't it?
Gave up everything. Everything. Nobody appreciates her. Not like I do. That Patrick, he's always taking advantage of her.
Oh, but he seems like such a nice young man.
He's borrowing money and never paying it back. Wouldn't surprise me if it was him who put that Rudy Shorts up to coming here last night. Always playing practical jokes. I bet they were going to split the money so he could give Lottie the money he deserves. He's like all young people these days. They've no respect for anything.
Yes, well, it isn't all that easy for any of them, now is it?
Come, look at this. There, a cigarette burn. Only the young people smoke in this house.
How terrible.
Such a beautiful piece.
Yes, so is this.
Oh, Dresden. We have two. A lad in this room and a lass in the spare room.
No, this is the last, Miss Bonner.
Oh, I always thought the lad was in this room. Oh, dear me, Miss Marple, I'm so sorry. This business has got me more confused now than ever.
Oh, good gracious, Miss Bonner, I'm so sorry. The violets have died. I was hoping they'd last all next week.
Oh, how silly of me. I forgot to water them.
But
no wonder.
Oh well, never mind that. I'll get you some more, and I think I know someone who can repair this so you never know it's been damaged.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I'm afraid I must be going now.
Oh, must you? It's so nice having someone to talk to who understands.
I have some shopping
Oh,
to do.
no, not that door. That one's been sealed up for years. The table used to be in front of it, so people knew they couldn't go through.
Well, that seems like a good idea.
It was, but Philippa suggested we move the table over here to integrate the rooms more. It was 2 rooms originally, you see.
Well, is there a key?
The builders were very clever. The same key fits all the locks downstairs, but there's a different key for each bedroom upstairs. So sensible.
Yes, so sensible.
See, come and look at this. You see, it's very stiff, but still won't open.
Miss Marple, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, really.
Oh, I'm sorry, Letty. It was all my fault. I was just explaining how the table used to be in front of the door, but we moved it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's not Miss Bunner's fault, really. I'm afraid I have an insatiable curiosity. Please forgive me.
No, it's all right. It's just the events of the last couple of days have got me rather overwrought.
Yes, I think all of the nerves are a bit overworked right now.
Well, that door, it's just that it hasn't been opened in nearly a decade since we turned these 2 rooms into one.
Ah, Miss Bunner. My sergeant has found your missing coffee cuplet in the bushes by the duck pond.
Oh, how lovely. I should have asked you to find it in the first place, you being a detective.
Oh, it's all part of the job. We find missing canaries as well.
Now, detective, can I ask why my cup was by the pond?
Well, using my obvious powers of deduction, I would say someone threw it there. But, Miss Marple, have you any idea why there should be oil in it?
I think I have. You see, the hinges on this door have been oiled. Rather recently, I'd say.
What? So it could be opened silently. So if Rudy Schurz had an accomplice, it could be anyone in this room last night. But why should they need to open that door? Well, whoever it is, they'll open it again. And hopefully we'll be there. Oh, 11:30. I'm afraid I must be getting back to the station, ladies. Would you like a lift, Miss Marple?
Oh, yes, please, thank you.
Should we go feed the ducks, Letty?
Oh, yes, probably. Poor animals are probably stirred up from all this madness.
Letty! Letty, I forgot to leave the honey.
I'll get you something on Monday, Bunny.
No, I don't want you to put yourself through any trouble, Patrick.
If only Inspector let us leave earlier. I really am sorry.
I'm sorry too, about the party as well.
But we couldn't have gone ahead with it, could we?
No, that's what I said. I'll have to cancel my party after all this dreadful business.
That's why
I don't mind. It doesn't upset me.
we couldn't have gone ahead with it. I mean, a man none of us knew came here, tried to rob us, almost killed Aunt Letty, and just because he got what he deserved, you decide poor Bunny has to suffer.
I can't believe that even you can be so insensitive, Patrick.
Well, I can be quite sensitive sometimes. Like I noticed the way you and Edmund Sweatingham look at each other.
What's wrong, Patrick? Are you jealous?
Whatever's this? Lover's tip?
Most certainly isn't that.
Careful, darling. You know what they say about the woman that does protest too much?
Oh, please don't argue. I have such a headache. What with the shooting and the questions, why my head, it can't take it.
Oh, do you want to take something for it, Bunny?
No, I shall be all right.
Don't be silly.
No, I don't want to. I can't find my aspirins anywhere.
Well, I have some upstairs on my bedside table. Should I go get them?
No, I don't want you to put yourself through any trouble. Well, the least I can do is get them myself.
You really do know her well, don't you?
She surprised me this time, holding out so long before getting her headache.
But you said she would develop a stinker, and you were right.
It's a pity we couldn't have the party. She was so looking forward to it.
Well, I'm glad it was her idea to cancel it.
I mean, where's the harm?
Well, we could have her cake with tea and turn it into sort of a party for the family.
Well, yes, only a teeny weeny party.
Oh, blast you, make me feel dreadful.
Get you a milk stout down the 1 ton.
Oh, go away. Well, we've got to have tea anyway, so why not?
Oh, good. Now, go get Julia and tell Mitzi we'll be needing her cake after all.
Righto.
Now, Philippa, I don't mean to be inquisitive, but is something bothering you?
Well...
Oh, is it your son?
No, he's fine. He loves his school. Well, the fees... Obviously, they're a little bit of a problem.
So there is something.
It'll be all right.
Whatever you say will be in the strictest of confidence.
There's nothing to tell, really.
Well, then I have something to tell you that might help ease your worries.
There's nothing I can't cope with.
Oh, I know you're very independent, Philippa, and I can't help you much now, but soon.
Please, Letty, don't give it another thought. I shall be able to manage.
I want you to know, I spoke to my solicitor. I'm changing my will. Apart from Bunny's annuity, you are getting everything.
Me? But you can't be serious.
Oh, everything's in hand.
But you mustn't do this. What about Patrick and Julia?
They have no claim on me. You are now my main beneficiary.
Why? Why are you telling me all this?
I don't think it's such a bad idea that everyone knows I changed my will.
I can't let you do this.
Oh, Philippa, believe me, I have a very good reason for doing what I'm doing. You might not get much if I die now, but soon you may come into a lot of money.
Die? You're not going to die, Letty.
You never know.
Here are Miss Marple, Miss Sweatenham, and their son Edmund Sweatenham. Thank you, you're welcome.
Oh! Clara, Miss Marple, this is a surprise. Is anything wrong? Wrong?
Yes, well, when the three of us do shop here nowadays, it does seem as if trouble isn't far behind.
Well, I certainly hope it is. I've had enough for one weekend. Thank you very much.
I'd like to apologize for barging in like this. I called on Clara and Edmund to suggest it. It just seemed like such a shame Miss Bonner having to cancel her party.
Yes, we thought we'd bring her a little present each. I'm afraid it's nothing rather exciting, though.
Oh, but how kind!
But of course we won't stay.
But of course you must. Mitzi's making a beautiful cake, and Bunny would be so pleased to have you all here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, is that all right with you, Philippa?
Oh, well, yes, of course.
Good.
Well, it might just turn into a party after all.
We're just having cake with tea.
By the way, Letty, did you ever find the honey I left?
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry, Clara. I forgot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. How silly of me to forget to bring it in the first place. You see, I came in the back door, but I couldn't find anyone. Edmund and I were nearly home before I remembered it.
I'm sure it could have waited for another time.
But it was your idea.
Well, actually, we needed it, so Mitzi always puts it in a special cake. See?
Well, Miss Marple, looks like this time you'll be in at the kill.
Edmund! Don't say things like that. Something we all want to forget.
How can we? It's far from over.
I'm afraid you're right, Edmund.
I'm sure the inspector is satisfied.
I don't think he is.
The inspector thinks that someone paid Rudy Schurz to try to kill Aunt Letty, and that they're going to try again.
Patrick, you shouldn't have brought that up.
Well, that puts us all under suspicion.
Yes, he does seem to have to include us, all of us now.
Miss Marple, how long were you in the hall? We only have your word for it that you were coming up the drive when the shots were fired.
My dear boy, I'm sure I'm very high on his list.
Really? And you seem to get on so well with him.
I think he finds me mildly amusing.
Patrick, will you see if Bunny's coming?
Yes, of course.
Well, certainly there won't be any more unpleasantness.
Oh, by that do you mean any more murders, Mother?
Must you, Edmund? Well, I think it's all over as well, so let's just forget about it, shall we?
She's coming.
Happy
Daddy! Oh, what a lovely surprise!
And here's a little something to wish you a very happy birthday, Miss Bunner.
Thank you, that is kind.
I'm afraid it's only handkerchiefs.
Just what I wanted.
It's only apples from the garden.
What a lovely thought.
And it's only half a jar of honey. I'm afraid the bees just aren't so very busy right now.
Oh, well, it can't be helped. Oh, I must take these aspirin. I have a thumping headache still.
There's some soda water on the sideboard. Well, dear, have that. Bunny dear, you'll soon feel better.
Aren't I silly having a headache on my birthday?
What a magnificent big cake!
I do it all myself. I had a special secret ingredient. Give it that extra bit of flavor, make it even more than perfect.
Did you notice the candle, Bunny? Yes.
Only one?
Well, there isn't room for all 21 candles, now is there?
You have to blow it out, Bunny.
Oh.
Do go ahead and cut it.
Okay. Who's first?
You're first. You're the birthday person.
You go on, Bunny. I'll cut the rest. Now, don't forget to make a wish.
What are you wishing for, Bunny?
I'm not telling. Well, it won't come true if I were you.
But I'm not. I would wish him dead.
You were my sister.
But I am.
Oh, someone banged the bat!
Oh, it's only one. It's only one. Someone get a bandy. Oh, we have to call the doctor. What's the number? What's the number? 5-8. 5-8.
I'm afraid it's too late. There's no need.
Delicious death.
For your help, Bishop. Afraid I came to Chipping Cleghorn woefully unprepared for this many bodies. Let's get about shore. Careful. Careful. On the floor.
Patrick, what are we going to do?
Well, think of something.
Yes, but they're bound to find out. We can't go on like this forever, darling.
Don't worry.
Don't worry! For heaven's sakes, Patrick!
We'll see nothing by panicking.
But you will help me, won't you?
Haven't I? I've done everything you've asked.
Yes. You have been wonderful. Oh, but I just need you.
There's no turning back. We can't stop now.
Done is done.
I did it for you.
Oh, Miss Simmons? How are you, Mr. Simmons?
Well, thank you.
Great.
We're not interrupting anything, are we?
Oh, no, nothing at all.
Well,
I see. We'll go feed the ducks or something.
Oh, yes, ducks.
Oh, Mr. Simmons?
Yes?
Did you have a lipstick on your collar?
Oh, yes, I didn't put on a clean shirt this morning.
Well, he can hardly blame you, can he, Miss Simmons?
No?
Well, the ducks!
Yeah, well, one more thing, Miss Simmons.
Yes.
You work at the local pharmacy, don't you?
Yes, I work at the pharmacy, yes. Ducks, I work at the pharmacy.
No, more important things. Miss Blacklock?
I'm not up to answering very many difficult questions right now, Inspector.
No, I'll be as brief as I can, but you've had another very narrow escape.
You know, Inspector, I'm finding it more and more difficult to accept your reasoning. How do you intend to make me the victim of this crime? Anyone could have taken that first bite of cake.
I know that.
Then Patrick's suggestion that the Clara's honey was poisoned, just malicious.
I agree.
Then was it Mitzi, the cake?
No, it was these.
My aspirin?
Yes, your aspirin that you keep by your bedside.
Oh, no, Inspector.
Someone wants you dead. Very, very badly.
I'm frightened, Inspector.
At last, now perhaps help me find the murderer.
Well, I haven't been purposely non-cooperative. It's just that I found it so difficult to believe that anyone would try to...
There's no friendship where money's concerned, Miss Blacklock. Are you aware that Belle Girdler's health has deteriorated recently?
Well, I knew she wasn't well.
I have it on the authority of the Scottish police that she is now seriously ill.
Oh, poor Belle, I should go see her.
It could be poor Miss Blacklock.
Pip and Emma.
Yes, they're uppermost in my mind, but it could be a combination of them and their parents, that Dimitri Stamfordus. You said he was quite a rogue. He goes as far as murder to get money.
I will do anything you ask, Inspector.
Good. I want you to try and remember and tell me everything that you remember about him, Sonia, and Pip and Emma. They're still at the top of my list. Have you any photographs of them?
Belle's more likely to have photographs than I am.
I'm afraid you drew a complete blank there. The Scottish police searched her home and found nothing. What I'm hoping is that Pip will look like his father or Emma her mother.
Or the other way around.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I do have an old photograph. I haven't seen it in years.
Find it.
Well, it might take me a little while.
Oh, do you need my help?
Let me try first.
I believe you wanted to see me.
Yes, Mrs. Ames. Do sit down.
Oh dear, sounds serious.
If you lie about something, you have to cover your tracks very, very carefully.
I don't understand.
Yes, you do understand. Don't lie anymore.
Everyone says we have more freedom nowadays, that the world is more understanding than it ever was. Inspector Craddock, you try being an unmarried mother.
I don't think it would work.
It isn't easy in a small village.
So you invented a husband.
How do you think Lady Blacklock would react if she knew the truth?
She strikes me as being a very sympathetic and understanding woman. What's more, she's no fool, and I have a sneaking suspicion she may have already guessed the truth.
So that's why.
What?
She's so kind to me. There aren't many like her.
Does your son know the truth?
He believes his father died.
Yeah, silly, he'll find out sometime.
Maybe.
My advice to you is to tell him, and everyone else.
Are you going to tell the others if I don't? This isn't a crime.
I couldn't live with it, but it is up to you.
How did you find out?
We do a lot of routine work.
Have you been checking up on me?
Sort of.
Make it sound very casual.
It isn't, but it is puzzling.
puzzling.
Yes, it's only a small thing, but I'm sure you can help. About your son's birth certificate.
Yes.
It gives the mother's name as Philippa Haynes.
Well, that's me.
Ah, well in that case there is a problem. Because we can't find a birth certificate for anyone matching that name. At least not with what we already know about you.
I found it! Am I interrupting?
No, Miss Blacklock. Your timing is perfect. Mrs. Haynes and I were just finishing it. For the time being. Are there any photographs of Sonia or Dmitri?
I haven't had a chance to look through it yet.
Is that her?
Oh no, that's Belle. Isn't she beautiful?
Yes, it's Belle at Skane.
Oh, yes, that's their place in Scotland. I'm sorry, the writing was rather faded.
Dmitri. Oh, Dmitri and Sonia. Dmitri self and Sonia. Sonia at Skane. Oh, it looks as though someone's gotten to this before us.
They appear to be ripped out.
Letters?
Oh, yes. Those will be from me to my sister.
You won't mind if I look through them?
Well...
There could be something in there about Sonia or Dmitri.
Miss Blacklock? I am not in the mood to be interrupted, Mitzi. I'm not interrupt. I give you the sack. I go. Oh, Mitzi. She can't go, can she?
Certainly not.
I'll have to go after her.
When you catch her, you might as well tell her that you won't get any farther than the train station.
Inspector!
Miss Marple, you're just on time.
Well, some people say I'm like a bad penny.
Oh, but not me, Miss Marple, not me.
I passed Miss Blacklock on the way in. That girl of hers, Mitzi, she's hurrying down the drive like a maniac.
Yeah, she is peculiar. Yeah, but so long as you're here, would you mind helping me with a little research?
Oh, certainly, but I do have to talk to Miss Blacklock.
Oh, it won't take long. I didn't think you'd want to pass up the opportunity of going through someone's old letters.
Oh, Inspector, that's not like me. Whose are they?
They're from Miss Blacklock to her sister, Charlotte. Find anything that's useful, as well as interesting. Don't hesitate to read it out loud, please.
Very well.
Oh, here's something that's been mentioned before. It refers to her disfigurement. Charlotte's, that is. It isn't as bad as you think, and you shouldn't lock yourself away.
I wonder what it was, this disfigurement.
It doesn't say specifically. I don't suppose it was anything serious, though.
Oh, well, then why should she lock herself away?
In my experience, Miss Marple, most women are extremely vain. Think about it. How would you react if you had a mole on the end of your nose?
Well, I wouldn't have to look at it.
But most women would hide themselves behind a veil.
Perhaps. Oh, it's mentioned here, too. I do wish you'd get out more. No one else notices it.
You see? Pure vanity.
Well, perhaps.
Oh, here's what I've been looking for.
What?
It's about Sonia, the fights she had with her brother. She has such a violent temper. It can be quite terrifying sometimes.
Did you ever find any photographs of Sonia?
No, they seem to have disappeared, rather conveniently. But, violent temper, and Miss Blacklock said she was dark and attractive. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yes, it does indeed, Inspector. Oh, listen to this. You can always tell when Sonia's angry. She has a habit of clenching and unclenching her hands. Who does that remind you of?
Got me there, Miss Marple, and that's something I'd missed.
And you don't miss much, do you, Inspector? I've noticed that Julia Simmons does it when she is agitated. I've been keeping a very careful watch now on that young woman.
As have I, Miss Marple, as have I. I had the French police do a check on her, and her mother, in the south of France, confirmed they were staying here.
Really? Are you sure?
Well, unless the woman in the south of France isn't their mother.
Well, could she be Sonia, hiding out till it's all over?
No, the French police are very thorough.
I see. Well, I was hoping we found Emma, but I suppose there's always a possibility that I was wrong in suspecting Julia. She isn't the only one who does that hand-clenching business, though, and I noticed that Philippa Haynes does it as well.
Very observant of you, Miss Marple. 10 out of 10.
It's just very frustrating that there aren't any photographs of Sonia.
Yes, you seem to have disappeared on the face of the earth. Who does this remind you of?
Well, I must admit, it does look like Clara Swetnam, but
But what?
the photograph is just so very old. Oh, listen to this. I wonder what it means. Buck up, dear. This iodine treatment may make a lot of difference. Lots of love.
Some sort of a special medicine they used in those days?
Oh, for what?
TB. That's why Miss Blacklock sent her sister to Switzerland.
Oh,
This one also looks a bit like Clara.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Marple. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. You wanted to see me.
Yes, about the funeral service.
Oh.
Well, I'm afraid I must be getting back to the station. You won't mind if I take these with me? I'll return them later.
I'm sorry to disturb your time like this, but my nephew wants you to know that he has all the funeral service arrangements made, and he'd like to know which hymns you'd like to use.
Well, Lead Kindly Light was always her favorite hymn. Tell your nephew thank you for organizing everything. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Forgive me.
Please don't, please.
It's just, it came over me all at once how much I'd lost. Bunny was the only one who remembered. Now that she's gone, I'm alone. I'm quite alone.
I understand. Cousins, nieces, and nephews, they're all well, but when the last person you shared your youth with has gone, well, then you really are alone.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, I was just leaving.
Not to my account, I hope.
No, my dear, there's something I must do. Oh, goodbye, Miss Blacklock.
Goodbye, and thank you.
Well, it looks like it's just you and me this morning. Mine's from Harry. He's looking forward to half term.
Oh, it seems like he only just went.
Letty, I realize it's not the ideal time to mention it, but it is all right, isn't it, Harry coming here for half term?
Of course. Philippa, where are Patrick and Julia?
I think they're upstairs. Why? I don't understand.
Would you just go get them for me?
Yes. Patrick, Julia, Letty wants a word with you. Shall I go?
No, I think you should stay.
Julie won't be far behind.
Sit down.
What is it?
I just received this letter. Dear Aunt Letty, I hope it will be all right for me to come to you on Tuesday. Patrick was going to let me know, but he hasn't. My train arrives about 6:15. Yours affectionately, Julia.
Oh, Lord.
This letter is from your sister.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Then who is that woman upstairs?
I can explain.
Do!
You see, my sister didn't want to come here. She was offered the job at the hospital, but she didn't want it. She was offered another job up north at a theatre company. She'd always been starstruck, so she decided to take it. But she knew Mother would be furious, so she did.
Get to the point!
Well, see, we didn't first come here. We went to England. There were people to see, parties to go to, and that's where I met Julia. See, me and her rather fell for each other, and as she wasn't doing anything in particular, I thought it was a great idea for the girls to swap places. I liked it for obvious reasons, and if Mother thought Julia was here with me, well, she couldn't complain. I was planning on telling you, but I couldn't in these current circumstances.
Who is the woman upstairs?
Well,
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Emma Stamford.
I'm surprised you decided to stay, Miss Stamfordus.
Well, if I had tried to leave, you would have only caught up with me.
You wouldn't have got out of Chipping Cleghorn.
Are you going to arrest me?
First, I'd like to know where your brother is.
I have no idea.
If you're holding back out of misguided family loyalty...
No, Inspector, honestly, I have no idea. Honestly. A word that must not come easy to you. I know how you must feel about me.
Please, Miss Simmons. Your brother.
Honestly, I don't know. When my parents split, it was decided that I was to go with my father and Pip with my mother. That was when we were 3.
Where is your father, then?
Try the moon. He left me in Istanbul when I was just old enough to take care of myself. So I worked my way back here.
Where is your mother, then?
Believe me, I'd like to know. I've searched for her everywhere. She's done a pretty good job of disappearing. I even went to Scotland to see if I could get some information. You went to see Belle? Well, yes, she is my aunt, and I thought that she could be of some help, but it was no use. She's no longer a part of this world, you see. But then I got to thinking about my uncle, and it occurred to me that he was very rich, and I knew that. So when Aunt Belle had died, I assumed that I was probably his only surviving relative. So I went to Somerset House to look up the will. And was I surprised? I looked everywhere for someone named Letty Blacklock, but I couldn't find her. And then, by the most incredible stroke of luck, I managed to meet Patrick, and the real Julia, and when the swap was suggested, well, I had a hard time managing my excitement.
No, I admire your self-control. It must have been difficult not to take a pot shot at me. Shipping take 187. Oh, Inspector, it's for you.
Craddock here. What? Oh, it's terrible. Well, keep me informed. I have distressing news. Miss Marple's been missing since she left here this morning.
Oh, my.
That's nearly 7 hours.
What's an honest Edmund? Thank you, you're welcome.
What is it now, Inspector?
All in good time.
Well, I don't like policemen turning up at my doorstep and asking me to accompany them. My neighbours will be pitter-pattering for weeks.
I shall be writing to the papers about this.
Well, it'll keep you busy for a change, won't it? Now, Mitzi, I believe you have something to tell us.
Yes, I will tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I did not do that on Friday.
What is the truth, Mitzi?
Well, I was walking in the dining room like I said, but when the gun went off in the little moonlight, through the keyhole I saw Miss Blacklock in the hallway.
Me? Oh, Mitzi!
That's impossible. She couldn't possibly have seen Miss Blacklock.
Go on, Mr. Swetnam. Why couldn't she have seen Miss Blacklock in the hallway? It's because she saw you, isn't it?
What? Edmund, that's not possible.
Think who stands to gain from Miss Blacklock's death. Emma Stamfordis and...
Oh, and you think that I'm Pip? That's too fantastic for words.
Who told you about Pip, Mr. Swetnam? I certainly didn't. And neither did anyone else in this room.
You're wrong, Inspector. I've told him. He isn't Pip. I am. You all wrongly assumed Pip was a boy. Emma, you knew the truth. Why didn't you just say so?
Because I suspected who you were. The inspector was right. I was holding back on family loyalty. But I did it because I didn't want her to get caught.
Philippa, you of all people!
I am sorry, Letty, but when my mother died, I was desperate for money, and hers had gone years ago, and she told me about the will, and I discovered for myself that Belle Girdler was seriously ill.
You have gone to a lot of trouble.
Oh, yes. I wanted security, not for me, but for my son. So I came here.
I was willing to help both of you.
Well, it was part of my plan to get into your good books.
It worked, didn't it?
But I grew fond of you.
I put you in my will.
Now that scared me stiff. You said you had a very good reason for doing so, and I thought you discovered who I really was, and you were trying to scare me off from getting my uncle's money.
And you were coming to kill me for it.
It never occurred to me, even though I did feel I was more entitled to the money than you. But there it is. I'm Pip, and I'm glad you know.
You two have been seeing quite a lot of each other recently.
Well, yes. There's no reason to suspect Emma anymore, Inspector.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. You're a struggling young writer, not yet published, who would very much like to marry a rich woman.
It's not true.
You're dead up your eyeballs.
Nonsense.
I can prove it. The banker, the bookmaker. Well, does that prove it's not... A rich wife would solve all your problems. The only thing standing in the way was Miss Blacklock. So you did something about that.
Edmund, no, you couldn't.
Shall we start with your meeting with Rudy Schultz and Turin?
Edmund! No, Edmund, wait!
Mrs. Swetnam, you should see your solicitor as soon as possible. I'm sorry to put you through all of this. Yeah, Mr. Simmons, would you mind escorting Mrs. Swetnam back? Miss Stamford, I'll need to see you down at the station as soon as possible.
Now?
Yes, please. Come on. A doctor wouldn't do her any harm either.
It's going to be okay.
You are a magnificent liar, Mitzi.
I do well, no? I do what you ask.
To the letter.
You are a clever girl, Mitzi.
Thank you, Miss Blacklock. You look tired. I will make you some coffee.
That would be nice, thank you.
Black and strong.
Perhaps a drop or two of milk?
Yeah, you drink it so horrible.
I'm sorry to put you through all of this, Miss Blacklock.
You could have warned me.
No, your disbelief had to be real. And it worked, didn't it?
Well, what if it hadn't?
Oh. Well, I would be in a bit of a mess, wouldn't I?
What about Miss Marple?
Yeah. Perhaps there's some news down at the station. Hope she didn't find out about Edmund Swetnam before I did.
You'll let me know if there is any news?
Of course. Goodbye, Miss Blacklock.
Goodbye, Inspector.
Here you are, Miss Blacklock. It's nice and strong.
Oh, thank you, Mitzi. 1 drop of cream or 2?
I take a liberty and do myself some.
Of course.
Now, Miss Blacklock, we have a nice little chat.
Oh?
I need money. Lots of money.
Why are you telling me, Mitzi?
Because I think you will help me.
But I don't have any money, Mitzi, or none to spare, that is.
But soon you will be rich. Very rich, and then you will help me.
I don't think I will.
I think you will because I helped you and now you will help me.
But I pay you to help me with the house.
No, that is not what I am talking about. Just now I tell a big whopper for the inspector, except it was not a lie.
You don't know what the truth is, Mitzi.
I think I do. The inspector come to me and say, Mitzi, you are a magnificent liar. And I say, yes, I am. And he say, you will tell a lie for me. You say that you saw Miss Blacklock in the hallway.
You did your little part very well, Mitzi, but I shan't be paying you for it.
Except this time it was not a lie. I did see you in the hallway, but with a gun in your hand. Now, you will give me lots of money, I will go to America to see my brother, and you will never hear from me again.
But Mitzi, you don't have a brother. So if the scenario plays out, you would likely go spend all the money and then come back to see if you can get more.
I saw you with the gun in your hand. Give me the money or I will phone the police!
Very well then, phone the police, and tell them all that you have told me. I will tell them that you are a liar who is trying to blackmail me.
I'm not a liar.
And then you will go to prison, like you say you were sent in your own country. I will tell you, Mitzi, why you will not say this. Because, my dishonest little friend, this is just another one of your lies. Because, as the police know, and everyone who was here on Friday knows, there is a key in the lock. So you could not have possibly seen me in the hallway with a gun in my hand. Now get out! Get out of my house! Now!
Lottie! Lottie! You're in danger, Lottie!
Bunny!
Danger!
Oh, Bunny, I loved you. I really loved you. I didn't want you to die.
But Bunny had to die. Every day she was becoming more and more of a liability.
Miss Marple, is this some sort of joke?
I have quite a talent for mimicry, so I'm told.
A joke in the worst possible taste.
Such sensitivity doesn't become you, Charlotte.
Charlotte is dead. I am Letitia.
Bunny would keep referring to you as Lottie instead of Letty, at the most inconvenient times. I thought it was a slip of the tongue. I'm sure most other people did too, but she was the only one who knew the truth, who remembered.
My dear woman, Bunny became muddled about names nearly all the time. Mitzi, for example, was often Millie, and you, Miss Marple, were Miss Maple. She confused you with the London store. It was all highly amusing.
She was putting you at risk every time she got it muddled, and you couldn't take that risk any longer. Any moment, and she might give it all away.
How dare you? Will you please leave?
used to be kept here. But this one replaced it. You can actually see the plexus frayed, and you can even see the bare wire. Bonnie put me onto it when she showed me the cigarette burn on the table. She even told us at one point that you were the one holding the vase of violets, and not the cigarette box, as you insisted.
Another one of Bunny's muddles. Philippa will attest to the fact that I was passing the cigarettes around. She took one.
All eyes were on the clock. As it finished striking, you simply emptied the vase onto the wires, and that was the flash that Bunny saw, and fused the lights. Very effective.
What a vivid imagination you have, Miss Marple. You should be careful it doesn't run away with you. I wouldn't imagine your old age pension covers solicitors' fees.
I'll risk it.
It's your funeral.
I plan to live a few more years. When your father died, your sister Letitia,
Charlotte,
decided to take you to Switzerland.
Charlotte had TB. Switzerland was the best place for her. I had the money, and I loved her dearly.
It was the right decision. You, Charlotte, were cured. However, ironically, Letty caught pneumonia and died. You panicked because, with her death, the girl of millions were slipping through your fingers. But then it occurred to you, you and Letitia had been away from England for several years. There were strong similarities between you two, so why not simply swap identities?
My birth certificate, my bank account, and my passport will all attest to you that I am Letitia Blacklock. Oh, and I also have Charlotte's death certificate.
You came back to this country, and Dora Bunner heard that Letitia Blacklock had returned, and she contacted you because she badly needed help.
Well, there you go. The jig would have been up right then. Bunny would have recognized me, and my whole thing would have been over.
Ah, yes, she did recognize you. However, when you explained everything about Randall Gerber and the will, she actually agreed that it was your right to inherit the money, and she even offered to help you. Now, you were lonely, and here was someone you had always had a great deal of affection for, and she could substantiate your deception. You took the risk.
Oh, good. Very good.
Everything went well for you for years, up until a few weeks ago. Then you had some bad luck. You ran into Rudy Schultz. He recognized you as Charlotte, and knowing what sort of man he was, had that if the news broke out that Bella died and you would inherit the money, there was a strong chance that he would blackmail you, and you dared not allow the smallest chance of that. You would never be rid of him.
I have my methods of dealing with blackmailers, Miss Marple.
When Rudy Schultz came to ask for his airfare, it was heaven sent. Fine, you said. I'm giving a party for my friends on Friday the 13th. I want to give them a thrill. You come over here, you put an announcement in the paper saying that a murder is to take place here at 6:30. Then you show up, pretend to hold up, I'll fuse the lights, and it will scare them stick. Then I'll give you your money.
Do go on, this is all very interesting.
Then you simply fuse the lights as I explained. Explain. What? Well, you didn't do it like that. You simply fuse the lights as I explained, open this door, walked quickly along the passageway, locking Lindsay the dining room, coming back in through this door, and firing 2 shots at yourself. Only you weren't there.
Then how do you account for the bullet nicking my ear?
It was too obvious. Everybody knows that the earlobe bleeds profusely when cut. A pair of scissors would do the trick. Then you simply fired a shot at Rudy Schultz, point-blank range.
I'd laugh if this weren't all so ridiculous. Very well, go ahead and tell the inspector all that you have told me. And I will tell him that you are a liar, and he will put it down to the rantings of a senile old woman. Because as we both know, there's no proof.
Oh, no! Do you remember Bunny's favorite quotation? A sad affliction bravely borne. Switzerland is not only famous for short TVs. In a letter to you from your sister, she mentioned something about iodine treatment. The reference did baffle me for a while, but when I did a little research, I discovered that Swiss doctors have perfected a very special glandular operation for goiter. I'm sure that when the records are checked, it'll be clear that it was Lottie and not Letty who was successfully operated on for goiter.
It's too
bad. You interfered. You're missing. Presumed dead. Edmund Swettenham stabbed you and dumped your body in the river!
Alright, Mrs. Swettenham! Mrs. Blacklock! It's all over!
Ain't right! You interfering! There's no need to cuff me.
Oh, you're right, Mrs. Marvelous how this business has got me all flustered.
I understand, and yes, I'm fine, thank you.
We don't have any big crimes where I come from. You're alright now, everyone. It's all over. You can come out now.
Oh, Edmund, you've no idea what a terrible time I've been through. I shall never forgive you. Never.
I'm sorry, Mother. I could hardly tell you what we were up to. You never would have agreed to my doing it.
Oh, but how could you deceive me like that?
I said I would help the inspector on one condition, that I would be the first to get all the facts. I'm sure that there's a fascinating novel waiting to be written, and if I'm not the one to write it, then someone else will.
Yeah, I really am sorry about all of this, Mrs. Swettenham, but the fewer people who knew, the better. So I couldn't tell you either.
Supposing I hadn't come to Edmund's rescue and made it being Pip.
Oh well, there was never any real danger of that, was there? But, now that you're all here, I've got a bit of a surprise for you.
We have had enough surprises, Inspector.
Say, what do you think of my acting, huh?
Where are you acting, Mitzi?
You should have seen me pretend the black man was Blacklock. I will give up cooking and go on the stage.
I understand why you all weren't in the mood to enjoy it earlier, but I thought now would be the perfect time. Delicious death. It's already cut, so dig in. Clumsy, clumsy, clumsy.
Again, too.
Mrs. Swettenham?
No, thank you. I'm on a diet.
Funny people.